You might be thinking, how is a big dumb gorilla capable of winning a fighting game tournament? Isn't the fox and the bird thing, aren't they way better? What about the guy who just knees things with his knee? Isn't he way better? Why is this vampire telling me the history of a modded fighting game? These bad boys can do some damage, alright? Don't mess with them. Well, when it comes to Donkey Kong and Project M, there's certainly more that meets the eye. Those who don't know what Project M is, TLDR, people were tired of Super Smash Bros. Brawl not being like Super Smash Bros. Melee, which is a much faster and competitive focused game, and they modded Brawl into a game that is much more similar to Melee. Their goal started as just a few characters to later becoming the rest of the cast, and along the way, the game was classified as its own mod, as it now had plenty of similarities to Melee, but still was based on the code of Brawl, leaving it to be incredibly interesting and bridging the gaps between both games. The mod's final update would be in 2015, and even after its final update, still has a very tight-knit community to this day of people who play this game competitively. Now you might be thinking, how is Donkey Kong, a previously subpar character in Super Smash Bros. Melee, one of the best characters in Project M? Well, in order to do this, you have to discuss how Donkey Kong fares in Melee. Donkey Kong can be considered a bad character in Melee. As of recent, there has been some cult-dedicated players to the character, but Donkey Kong is never going to be considered a top character in the game because of his many faults. If DK wins a major in Melee, I will eat my words on this, but the game is almost 20 years old and Donkey Kong has yet to prove himself. He isn't the worst in the game, but certainly misses a lot of things that would push him higher in the Melee meta. First off, his shield doesn't even cover his entire body, which he isn't the only low tier to have this issue, which means because of his large body and small shield, he is going to get poked a lot. If he's getting projectile camped, this will hurt his power shield game because of how small his shield is, and it's going to be easier for those projectiles to poke his character model. If he isn't ready to deal with projectiles, it's going to be a hard time for Donkey Kong. And because of his large character model and size, it means once an opponent comes in, DK is basically going to be combo food. Not only that, he has a hurt box on his tie, which doesn't do him any favors for sure. He does, however, have several upsides to the character.
And he's really good at getting him on the platform.
Oh, nice DI.
Oh,
wow! Oh my goodness.
What is this monkey?
Despite lacking a lot of approach options and forward-facing attacks being kind of lackluster and neutral, his back air is actually an amazing poking tool because of its reach. This move is his main approaching tool. DK has access to one of the most interesting grabs in the game, his cargo throw. DK can set up combos very effectively with this throw. It even is very effective at comboing the space animals in this higher tiers. This becomes a very effective footnote for his Project M iteration. In fact, once Donkey Kong is able to get in, he does have some very impressive options. His down B is great at setting up conversions, and his up B is a pretty decent move due to how versatile it is at escaping pressure. Of course, we can't forget his iconic Donkey Punch, which is one of his most effective KO moves hands down in his moveset, especially when fully charged. Despite the many positives Donkey Kong has, he's always been cursed in the low to mid tiers in Melee, even as far back as 2002. While there has been some recent praise for the character, he still has yet to show major improvements in large tournaments. A character with so many positives on paper just doesn't have enough to become viable with the higher tier characters in the game.
Uh-oh. They're not looking so hot.
Oh my god, Thunder's doing some damage.
During the early iterations of Project M, Donkey Kong was given 3 main buffs: his aerials, his special moves, and his grab game. Oh, and also there's a brand new dash attack. In Melee, he is known for having an amazing back air, stealing most of the show for his moveset. But this time around, he isn't being carried by his back air. His nair, his forward air, and down air have all been buffed to be much stronger in general. Like I stated earlier in Melee, where he lacked a lot of forward-facing moves in his neutral, now that problem is resolved, as now his neutral air is a much better option at attacking forward-facing opponents. The move now has way more range and has slight invincibility on its arms during a small part of the animation. Donkey Kong's down air now is much less ending lag compared to the Melee version, and now is very effective at edge guarding too. It can even be used effectively on stage as well. His forward air, now don't even get me started on his forward air. His forward air is actually DK's best new tools. It is very decently useful move in Melee. Now in Project M, it is a crazy move. It comes out much faster and has much higher KO power. You will see Donkey Kong mains use this move all the time because of how effective it is even out of cargo throw. This becomes one of Donkey Kong's main bread and butters, one of his most effective aerials when connected. Even his up air has received some minor buffs to its combo capabilities and effectiveness at escaping combos. Yes, I know it continues, to his special moves. Donkey Kong's special moves have been buffed across the board. His up B now is even faster than it previously was and has received buffs to its recovery capabilities as well. The move is even great out of shield as it gives Donkey Kong a great burst option out of shield. Donkey Kong's hand slap down special has been increased as its grounded hitbox can now catch opponents a lot easier. In Project Plus, it's actually been buffed to have another mix-up option as he can now use the aerial version of this move that he never had in Melee, so meaning he can use down B in the air. His side special has even been buffed as well as now it can spike opponents now, which gives him another edge guarding tool. His neutral B has been buffed as well as you can now use it in the air and no longer have to go in free fall after using it. So it's actually very, very good at ending combos. This move is still one of his most powerful finishers, especially out of cargo throw. You'll see it all the time out of cargo throw if he has a fully charged donkey punch. One of his biggest strengths in Melee is even bigger in Project M. His cargo throw has been buffed tremendously as now he has this gives Donkey Kong an extra layer of touch of death, which means if you're getting touched by Donkey Kong, you're most likely going to lose a stock, which was possible in the Melee iteration, but essentially is a lot stronger in Project M. Considering all those new changes, he is now a very unique and powerful character, almost a more realized and actualized version of the Melee iteration.
Just like most people think DK is not that good because he's a fat character, but this character is incredibly fast, it hits incredibly hard, and it is way harder to edge guard than you ever expect it to be.
DK's just heavy Marth Falcon. Like, he's gonna dash dance, grab you, and then he's gonna kill you, and the entire crowd is gonna pop off.
Thomas took years off my life playing this character. I was so afraid of dying off one hit.
Yeah.
The stress was unbearable.
Yeah, no, I think we all have lost a few years when it comes to the
I think DK kind of had that weird puff effect where you just play worse because you're scared of something.
Oh, yeah.
It's up for rest. DK just is grabbing channel roll.
Yeah.
But this simply wasn't enough to make DK an amazing character. Many tier lists at the time listed Donkey Kong as being a mid to low tier character, even after all the buffs he received. Remember, this is Project M where a majority of the casts are competitively viable in the game, and most of the characters are going to be good competitively. It would take an amazing player to have to convince people that Donkey Kong was the great character that he truly was. Donkey Kong would not have been a trademark character in Project M's meta without the player ThundeRzReiGN, who truly showed what Donkey Kong is capable of doing. Touch of death combos? Check. Amazing finishers? Check. Donkey Punch? There's plenty of that. ThundeRzReiGN was the pioneer of Project M Donkey Kong, him being the sole developer of DK's metagame. He took a character that was previously thought to be a low-tier character and brought him to the lengths of winning many Project M majors. His playstyle is summarized as being incredibly aggressive with a very big punish game, along with a very bait and punish neutral. He is praised for being able to be a defensive player while also quickly switching to an aggressive playstyle on the fly. His iconic use of DK's cargo throw into forward air and really cargo into anything allows him to set up a lot of zero to death situations. He is single-handedly the reason why Donkey Kong rose so much higher on the Project M tier list. He is listed as one of the most dominant players in Project M. He won many tournaments including Olympus, the Bigger Balk, Supernova 2, just to name a few. And he's placed very well at pretty much almost every tournament that he's been to. Donkey Kong, who started as a low-tier character, quickly was recognized as one of the top 10 characters in the game. And to be top 10 in a very competitive and close tier list in general is a pretty impressive feat. You can really thank ThundeRzReiGN for that, for really pioneering the character. So if you see Donkey Kong on Project M Net play, then you can really thank this guy. In conclusion, is Donkey Kong a good character? Of course he is. As time went on, there's certainly more that meets the eye when it comes to Donkey Kong.
He has a very solid punish game across the whole cast. He could touch a def like fast fallers and semi-fast fallers, but some of the other cast members, he could still just like win 2 neutral exchanges and probably end the stock. He's heavy, he's fat, he can CC most moves. He also has very big range on his bear, and he actually has a nair in this game compared to melee. He has a super move with his punch that can kill as early as 60%. His recovery is decent. It's a lot better than it was in melee because he has more drift. His out of shield options, you can up the out of shield, which is invincible on frame 4. It's very good. If you can't grab people, you just up the out of shield. His ledge options get even better just because of the PM engine, where you can ledge dash using Tourney Winner. Because before, in melee, he could not get off the ledge very well. But in this game, he could Tourney Winner and he can be invincible and put up his shield. His matchup spread, he only loses like very few matchups, I feel like. But most of the casts on here, he probably wins or goes even against.
So if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Hope you guys enjoy the content, and take care and peace.